Ovulation is the time when the egg ruptures from the ovary, and this is the most fertile period of a woman's menstrual cycle when she has the maximum chances of conceiving. So it's so important for us to understand the ovulation period. I have an entire video about the signs and symptoms of ovulation and how are you supposed to track your ovulation. To check that video here, you can click on the link above. Now, for majority of the couples who struggle with infertility, especially female factor infertility, most of the cases account for ovulatory disorders. That is, because of hormonal imbalances like PCOS, thyroid, etc., they have a lot of anovulatory cycles, which means they do not ovulate every month, which makes it difficult for them to conceive. In today's video, we're going to talk about 6 lifestyle changes that when implemented correctly can help with improving your ovulation and thus increases your chances of conception. So if this is something that interests you, definitely watch the video till the end. Hey everyone, this is Dr. Zainab Tajir. I am a homeopathy consultant and psychological counselor. I primarily help women deal with their hormonal issues and improve their fertility through homeopathy and holistic healing methods. So you definitely should subscribe to my channel if this is something that interests you. Now, in the world that we live in today, our lifestyle is so disrupted. So we majorly lead like a sedentary lifestyle where we consume more calories than we can possibly burn, which results into increased weight gain and also causes increased fat deposition in our body. Not only this, but majorly as Indians, our diet consists of a lot of carbohydrates and even high GI carbs like breads, pasta, etc., which causes insulin resistance into our body and blood sugar spikes, which disrupts our hormone. Also, there are so many inflammatory foods in our overall routine, such as desserts, refined oils, fried foods, etc., which again result into cellular inflammation and hormonal disruption. And it is so important for us to correct all of this. So here are the 6 things that you can do in order to have a more balanced lifestyle and improve your hormones in order to improve your fertility. Now, the first thing is to be mindful of the carbohydrates that you eat. Now, like I mentioned, majority of the carbs that we eat are high GI carbs. That is, they cause quick blood sugar spikes. Now, it is important for us to replace them with low GI carbs. So mainly include more fruits and vegetables into our diet, which contain a lot of fibers, but also contain a lot of vitamins and minerals, which are good for our fertility and health. And also include grains like barley, quinoa, brown rice, bajra, jawar, etc., all of which helps us in maintaining stable blood sugar levels and thus also helps in improving our entire hormonal balance. Whenever you are planning a meal, always make sure that you follow the balance plate method. That is, half of your plate is filled with fibers, mainly from vegetables and fruits, and the other half contains proteins and carbs. Following this rule will always make sure that you are eating a balanced meal. The second thing that needs to be done is to replace trans fat with good fat. Nothing good comes from trans fat, period. It's so important for us to include good fats. Now, fats are very important for production of hormones, but it's so important that it comes from good sources like nuts, seeds, quinoa, avocado, etc., lentils, beans. All these are good fat sources, and it is important for us to include those in our routine. Now, the third thing is to focus more on plant protein sources rather than animal sources of protein, because these not only give us good vitamins and minerals, but also contain a lot of pro-fertility nutrients which are good for our health. So including things like beans, tofu, quinoa, etc. into our diet would be much more beneficial rather than including a lot of plant protein. The fourth thing that you need to do is to make sure that you are not skipping your supplements. Now, supplements are so very important because our body's nutritional requirement increases, especially when we are trying to conceive and during pregnancy. So we can't only be relying on food as the primary source of our nutrition. It's important to include supplements. Some of the basic supplements that we need includes folic acid and vitamin D. Also, in terms of folic acid, choose supplements that contain L-methyl folate instead of folic acid, which is a more absorbable form of folic acid by our body. Additionally, you might also require zinc, magnesium, selenium, etc. depending on your health condition, but you should speak to your healthcare professional before choosing any of these supplements. The next and the most important is to cut out refined sugars and replace all your sugary beverages with fruits, vegetables, and also just water, plain water. Hydration is so important for our fertility, and sugar is extremely inflammatory, especially refined sugars. So it's very important for us to cut that out and opt for more natural sources of sugars. Lastly, movement is the key to a lot of our issues. With this sedentary lifestyle that we live, we don't have a lot of movement, and therefore making sure that we're including at least 30 minutes of exercise into our routine daily, which can be any form, in form of Zumba, cardio, walking, etc. Especially if you have conditions like PCOS and insulin resistance, it would be better if you can include strength training, because that also helps in improving your insulin sensitivity. And this brings me to the end of the video. Implementing all the above lifestyle changes will definitely help you in improving your fertility and can also aid your hormonal balance in conception. Now, if you have any queries relating to anything that I discussed, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I will try and answer as many as I can. And thank you so much for sticking by till the end, and I will see you again next week.